Hello, all you peeps! This is Edo here for hopefully our final episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. Here with me is Nightshade.
Justice for all, once and for all. Let's just get this over.
Let's do it.
Yes, now remember I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of one gorilla and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
Great.
So you took this job through a letter.
He didn't mean anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he is definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it.
Now then, let's begin the cross-examination.
Cross-examination request taking part 2.
Okay, so press everything. But didn't you just say that you always meet your clients?
Yes, I suppose do you apologize for I just dropped my receiver? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible.
But didn't you meet your client this time?
No, I did not.
Oh, come now. Let's stop with this game of cat and mouse.
Using this silkiest voice is not going to work on me.
I don't know if you would consider that silkiest, but...
That's because you didn't deliver that line appropriately. Do it again.
Alright then, just cough it up and confess.
Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. the Killer met with his client?
I don't. Well, technically we don't. Do I have to say no to this?
It's also possible you're a little too early here.
Maybe.
I mean, you can check the court record now, just in case.
That he... Any proof that he had met with his client. Trying to see if there's anything, but personally, this is no. I don't think I do. But if I say no, will I get dinged?
Well, no, there's no penalty bar, so I'm guessing no.
Yeah, at some point, I don't think I have any proof. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof.
I see. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time.
Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong. Mother effer. You're on my side, Edgeworth. God damn it. So mad right now. And why could you not meet certain clients?
Recently, I've been receiving more requests. If I met each and every client, I will lose some nice business opportunities.
Nice business opportunities.
On top of which the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times and now take requests via electronic mail.
Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope?
Oh my
God,
gosh,
you're
Judge,
dumb.
please.
I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant is electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email.
Email.
In a contest of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot hands down. Anyway, you took this job without having met your client and... Two or three other things?
Yes,
And what were these other things?
a few other things that have nothing to do with this case.
What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? No. It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. We're gonna push further though. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes?
everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to the client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination.
Uh-oh.
Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client?
That's...
I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one,
Wait! Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? I don't think I have a choice here. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were.
if it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine.
The bear figurine?
After the assassination of the target, it was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing.
And where was that figurine?
It was inside Mr. Corrida's suitcase.
And then, what did you do next?
I handed it over to my client right away.
You gave it to your client. Interesting.
This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony.
As you wish. One of these was to find a bear figurine and give it to Adrian Andrews.
And on your left, you
Okay,
can see
so-
a lawyer's cogwheel turning.
So here's the thing. The figurine has the suicide note. Andrew said earlier. She said earlier that if she had the note, she would have burned it. And she knew about the bear and how to solve it. The only other person that would have known would have been Juan. Which doesn't make sense, because if he's still believing that's the client, then she would have already burned it before she had given it to him. But would I have to present the note or the bear?
Maybe both are valid. Maybe not.
Because the note was in there, which means whoever gave him the thing didn't know how to open it, which is why it can't be her. I think the figurine might be the better one to present. I'm hoping this is correct. Shelley the killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside.
This item?
I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going.
Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it.
Order, order, order. So that's where you two are going.
So by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle.
Which means?
It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be that client.
Order, order, order.
I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your hand of our agreement.
No, that's not...
That's enough. If that is your intention, there is only one thing for me to do.
Wait, please!
Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a mother that I must attend to. Now where's the gun?
No, please, not that. Please wait.
Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise...
Virgin, Mr. Wright, are you? Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't understand this witness outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough?
Well, we should. Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... the prosecution, Did he just read my effing mind?
Everybody reads Phoenix's mind.
Why?
Everyone.
It's like...
He's an open book.
No.
Orders come over, everyone. Even you are.
The prosecution rests.
We're just going around here.
The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What? Well, I have never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. the Killer's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley the Killer's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
if I end the trial here right now, then your client, Matt Ungard, would be declared innocent, and in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder.
Miss Andrews would be charged with murder?
The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Ungard, to the stand.
The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, and it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands.
Dude! Did the whole guy finally decide?
To be honest, I can't think of you as truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent.
Huh. So, I guess even the whole fuddy-duddy figured me out.
Miss God,
What an atrocious liar I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap. It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Liar.
Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life?
You better get Ungard a guilty sentence, okay?
But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose.
now then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. The person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews. And your client, Mr. Matt Ungard, is innocent.
There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my liar is going to say that what I want, aren't you?
Right. I can't do this. I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Ungard, is...
We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Ungard, your client deserves an answer.
Maya, I'm sorry. Matt Ungard is... Francisca! Francisca von Karma!
What are you doing here? Ow!
You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them, the final pieces? Do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. all of the items are inside this. Oh gosh, it's in his coat.
What a filthy old coat this is.
That's Gumshoe's. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap these items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence.
Your final evidence?
Oh my gosh.
This trial's already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now will change the outcome of this trial.
What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence.
I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court.
Ooh.
Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please.
These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police.
He must have been in quite a rush.
Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around, like a miracle. I'm sure of it. This is all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? Does that pistol have any relation to this case? We've have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case, at least with me. Huh? That's the pistol he used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes. Oh. I've kept the bullets they've removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. I'm sure it would be an excellent sample for the test. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Francisca. Jeez, just like the dad. God damn.
It's all a family matter.
No kidding. It's probably not going to help us very much. The second piece of evidence in this videotape. I bet the killer took that from Ungard Mansion. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh, yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important.
Why would you say that?
Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it. That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they've managed to protect it from the killer. Surely the killer is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? What was that used during the crime? I am almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it, the killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There's one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. That is all I have to present, Your Honor.
It's just as I thought.
And what is that, Your Honor?
I'm sure we're under normal circumstances. These items from Shelley to Killer hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing.
It is who is the client.
Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now.
Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence.
Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict.
Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he?
Is this the end? Phoenix. I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But, no matter how you think about it, it's... Try. For my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. 2? The first, make Ungard a wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Ungard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way, force the killer to end his contract with Ungard. If the killer would no longer think Ungard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side. Wait. Does she mean... You mean to turn things around. Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge, we have seen all the pieces of evidence, and that is how we have come to know the truth. But there is one person who has yet to see them all, and that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end.
There are no contradictions this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict.
Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
Oh my gosh.
Here we go. I have already told you, Mr. Wright, this court does not need any more evidence.
I am not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor.
Then, you want to show the evidence to that person?
Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance.
One chance.
Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person.
That's impossible, to turn the situation around in one try.
One try. That is all I will permit.
I have to try to remember. Everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking on guard down at the same time.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to?
Also, they're not kidding. If you got this wrong, it's over.
It has to be him. He's the only one that doesn't know.
You want a confirmation on this one since it's a one try only?
How do I
Save?
Yeah.
Think the plus button? Or the minus button?
Nope. That was to reset my thing.
Oh.
I do not know what the button is.
I mean, any button that isn't X, I guess.
No, that was negative. It's not plus.
As long as it's not X.
It's not that. It's not letting me go anywhere.
Then I guess there's no way around it. Just be careful with those buttons. Do not make a misstep.
I think it has to be him. He's the only person that has not seen everything, which makes sense, because he's not here.
I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person.
Oh no. Let me see. No. This one, it makes sense. Neither would the pistol. It would have to be the videotape. That's the only thing I could think of. It has something in there that we don't know. Because the button wouldn't make sense. That has no significance. Because he wore it. So why would it matter? He took it, but he probably just did it so that they wouldn't find him. Not so much finding about, anything else. The pistol was what he fired at Francesca, so once again, it's just an evidence for him, not so much our client, or his client. So the only thing I could think of is that it's the videotape. I am taking a very bold move because they said a button, but like I said, the only button was the button that was on, that they ever spoke about, was the button that was on the Nickel Samurai's costume. That's why I still feel like that doesn't work. This is just him. Why did he fire at her?
To make her unable to be in court.
That's what it was. Yeah,
Did
that's right.
not
That's
expect
right.
Hedgehog to show up.
Yeah.
So careful moving around here. We want to move.
I think it has to be the videotape. There's just nothing else I can think of. We have to know what's in that videotape.
Is this your final answer?
Sure is. Oh, I hope I'm right.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edward?
I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness.
Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier.
All right. It looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right?
Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence.
Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back.
that videotape?
I thought so.
I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard.
Do you know the contents of this tape?
I was sternly told by my client to not watch it. So I have absolutely no idea.
Actually, you are on this tape. There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. Oh, I get it.
What?
Is that true, Mr. Wright?
Who was it that pointed the camera?
Had to be Matt. Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. He backstabbed you.
That was Adrian Andrews.
Be quiet and listen, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right?
Yes.
That was so they could film you.
I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why will my client do such a thing? I would like to know why.
Why did Matt Ungard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to blackmail on you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said.
But I'm the weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want.
Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelley the Killer?
It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning.
Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness.
Yes.
You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all.
Yes, that's right.
But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then?
That's obvious. I will break our contract in that case. And then, that client will become my next target. For the honor of the Dick Killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I will follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment.
I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around.
Mr. Wright,
Yes?
my my contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item.
What the? I'm not an item!
Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness.
This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I am sort of... I don't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness and... Gwa! Miss Von Karma, what did that...
She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. On Guard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watched this video.
Help me.
Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please.
Is this alright with you, Miss Wright?
We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. Not on guard. Even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here.
Me? My wonderful self? Guilty?
Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it. You can't run away from your crime anymore.
No! Guilty!
I just scratched up his face.
As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth.
Me? I don't remember you helping out much in this.
Wow, salty until the end.
Wow.
Mr. Edward, how is Matt on guard?
I have left Mr. Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whipped leather right about now.
Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness?
Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness.
That feels like so long ago now.
I know.
That is no concern of me, to me.
But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone.
It looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, but everyone seems to be in good spirits. and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Not gonna put the guilty in the front. Alright, fine. March 23, 5:14 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3.
You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make.
Now then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter.
I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? My client, Madame Guard, is
Then you got whipped.
he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right. Edgeworth, I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody.
Really?
Pearls,
You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Ah! Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya's safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick!
Ow, she punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her.
Thanks?
Oh,
What's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
I forgot about her. About earlier. Thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost! Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you are still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry, she may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then
Remember this?
it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by the person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well as you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself for defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I'd left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was that in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense! We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant, but every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well.
What? You trusted your enemy?
It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is fight with the knowledge we hold in everything we have, erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This, I promise you.
The truth.
Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me, this man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Ah! Is Mr. Edward right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with is because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edward I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself.
You pathetic fool! Miss Von Karma!
I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edward, you're no longer worthy. You're no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. Neither am I. It's over. It's all over. Francesca threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else.
Ah! Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this, right? Okay.
Nick!
Maya! Maya!
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
Oh, yay!
Our clothes is surprisingly in good condition.
Right?
Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got in guard convicted, like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. We sure pressed our luck this trial. You really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly.
Is it really that easy to do something like that?
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it. Maya.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm relieved you're alright.
Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
Somebody give this girl some food.
All right. I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Huh? Where are we going?
Food, Nick. Food. Grub. Chow. I'm starved. I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice juicy burger on bun to me, Nick.
You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least.
Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please.
If you insist. Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint?
Don't be silly, Nick.
Huh?
This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I decided that we have to make it up by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick. Food!
Food!
Food.
Oh my god, we're really back here?
March 23, 7:38 p.m. Gatewater Hotel lobby. Do you know any other place that have a all-you-can-eat buffet?
Oh!
Hey, pal. Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
He looks so weird without his trench coat.
He looks buff.
Gumshoe, are you alright?
Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I will hit a telephone pole of all the things.
Oh my gosh, a telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him.
Yeah, I did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking.
Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai.
Thanks.
Now looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon y'all bullied Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't stop being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight, even.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, come on now. Everyone's gathered around. Y'all all gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer.
Looks like Lotta brought herself a new camera.
Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal.
Amen to that, pal. Amen.
You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Huh? Me? You really think so?
He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this child would have had a very different ending.
Oh, well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
4?
What? 4?
Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket.
There was a 4th item?
Oh, come on, y'all. It's over. But whoo boy, I tell you, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh? Ha ha ha, you think?
Why does she look so happy about that?
But being shut away for 2 whole days, weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had a rut, gal. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway.
It sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. Oh. What is that, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up.
Ah, that's Miss Vascama's receiver. Ugh. Thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me.
That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location.
Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do.
Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't eaten anything yet.
And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. I've had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me... Wait. What? I just want to say thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. Just kiss him, you fool!
Quiet, you. It's time for the final delivery.
I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. Just kiss him, you fool!
Which piece of evidence is the correct one?
What am I supposed to bring?
I mean, check them all.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, the whip? What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick.
Yes, to go eat at a better restaurant.
Hey, Mystic Maya? Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean? But Pearly, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me.
Anyway. So, who's paying for this lovely dinner party?
Crap! Edward left us with the bill. God damn it.
As if you need to ask. Everyone say, thank you to Nick.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill.
Damn you, Edward. Huh?
Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000. Huh? Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick.
Why do I suddenly feel like screaming?
You don't need to hold back now, you hear?
Yeah, pal. Time to let it all out.
This is going to be the first time I hear the real you. Go on. It's been a while since I heard you say it. It's been busy being a hostage and all.
All right, then. If you say so. Objection!
Objection. And this is it.
Yay! We did it! Oh my gosh.
Oh, you really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro.
I don't think you should be proud of that.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Sure hope you remember the characters.
I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick, and I'm so happy for the 2 of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners, so I sort of made reservations for the 2 of you, just in case.
Oh my gosh.
Which credit card?
She is so dedicated to shipping them.
Well, pal, it looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Hedgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way that we live, pal.
I'm Maggie Bird, and retiring this uniform as today, sir. I'm going to be waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you stop by sometime, Mr. Wright.
Oh, Maggie, it has been
way too
25
long.
episodes.
It's been way too long. I don't even know if I did her voice right. Oh, God.
Yes, are you here to visit a patient? I'm Director Hardy. Recently, yes, that girl, I haven't seen her around. Yes. But remember, if I ever set so much of an eye on her, it will go crack. Didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. Oh. It's time to begin our quest of world circus domination, sweetie. And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe.
Hey, Nux, what do you think Zimbabwe's like? Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk?
I think if there are any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at most jokes. At least that one I remember because I just edited that.
I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm going to be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls representing.
We got our new act call worked out. Prepare for the Alleluia chorus. Say something, will you? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it. Get on with it.
Forget about it.
That might have went a little too far. My throat is not happy about that.
What's this? Yeah, this is just ordinary electric razor retarding on the tech. I can't believe this. Really? How long do they plan on making me do this? But it's Edgy Poo's idea, so that means I must have a deep hidden meeting. But why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me? Would they? I was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy and treat me like royalty. And the man, oh God, she's going and going. And no,
you'll have to record that later.
No.
You'll have to record that later.
No.
I'm making an executive decision here.
I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edward did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone.
Now that you've finished this game, you can watch the first season of the Ace Attorney movie. Anime.
Oh.
You can watch the movie too, but anime.
Oh.
It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you'd like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. Maybe both be blessed with longevity. Activating self-destruct.
And it actually finally broke.
Shinja Mikami.
Oh.
March 23, 9:42 p.m. International departures, Gate 12.
Oh no. Where are you going, Francisca? How did you know I was here? With this. That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example.
That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it.
This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage, but it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting.
When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout. Well, sure, I took 4 things in total, sir.
4 things. It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket.
He put it in here?
It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now?
That's none of your business.
Are you running away?
Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter.
Franziska.
So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure, such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've already known that. But I had to be the one. I had to.
You may not be a genius like your father, but you're a prosecutor. You have been and always will be.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away.
Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip.
You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge.
I see.
You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today.
I believe you can, just like how Adrian Andrews did.
Adrian Andrews?
You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right? Today, you chased after me after I had left you behind out these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you are going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma.
I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Phoenix Wright, one day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again.
Wow.
And there it is.
Yay! We did it! Oh my gosh, that was so much. Holy moly. Yeah, you better save. It just went through all that. Oh my gosh.
So, thoughts?
Oh, I'm glad.
Insults.
I am glad we're done with this. Holy moly. It took forever. And I feel so bad
because so much happened, and so much happened in my life that I couldn't take the time to do this. And I'm so happy we were finally able to finish this freaking game. Oh, man. I never want to go back to the circuit.
I think we're all in agreement here.
Oh, man. I'm
But I
glad.
guess-
I'm glad how it
well.
ended. It was a good ending. It was a good ending. I'm happy with it.
Now, I guess the question is important here.
Oh,
This one and the first one. Which one is better than the other one?
wow, that's so hard to say. It's so hard to say which one I liked better. I don't know. I still feel like I liked the first one. Maybe because the first one holds a lot more nostalgia for me. And I think the whole theme of Edgeworth's story was really good. I'm not saying Francisca's part of the story here wasn't good. I just feel like it wasn't as maybe fleshed out as it could have been compared to Edgeworth. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it had to get cut short because we had to have Edgeworth in this, it seems. Because obviously he had to make his comeback. It's really so hard to say. I definitely do think the last turnabout was probably my favorite out of this in this game. Just because of everything that it pulled everyone together, and it was pretty crazy. But man, it's a really tough call. I feel like they're kind of tied at this point since I've only played these two games. It's so hard to say because like Ace Attorney was great, but its DLC was pretty good too. So it's kind of like there's that the DLC aspect right there that was really good. But
All right, let me make this simpler.
if
First game without the DLC, is it better or worse?
it's so hard to say, it really is. And I think what makes it hard is that it's the whole turnabout Big Top. It
Yes.
seriously is. That it dragged so long, and all the other turnabouts were great. I had no problem with the other ones. I thought they were really good. The reunion and turnabout, shit, even the lost turnabout, even though it was, really, really short, it was our tutorial. It was still really good. But I do feel like the Farewell My Turnabout was probably the best. It's just, I do feel like that middle part of this game is kind of what dragged on too long. I guess I would say the first one probably still tops it, if only by a little.
Without the DLC. So with the
Yeah.
DLC, you will say it goes much higher.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Until I find a future game that tops it, I'll see. Like I said, this turnabout itself was really good. It's probably
You
one
only
of my
have
favorites.
two games
so.
so far on the board, so like
I
you have a
know.
lot of leeway to allow yourself here.
Yeah, I still
But
got a lot, so.
But anyway, in my case, I do agree, though for me it's not really that much of a big discussion between the two. Like, I still
Yeah.
think the first game is much better than the second game, but the second game also have, like, the quality of life improvement that they had. Like,
Yes.
the variable penalties is nice because something really dumb does not necessarily need to cost you a lot.
Uh-huh.
And at the same time, like, big penalties makes a lot more tension. Like, it does give the pressure going. I know at the very beginning you were not really a fan of the Magatama system, but,
Yeah,
I like...
that took a while for me to get into. But I can understand, like, how, like, they really did need to add something. And it's not necessarily bad that it was added. So it's just something I would have to get used to if they continue using it. I don't know, because I've never played the other Ace Attorney games. What's after this?
Hold on, I'm not done with my thoughts, so I can
Oh,
just
okay.
wrap this up. So, like, there's just that. And, there's some returning characters and everything. The cases, the very first one is pretty straightforward, but like you need a tutorial case.
Yeah.
And I guess they found a clever way to, hey, Phoenix Wright needs a tutorial again because he forgot everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he got amnesia. So that kind of worked. Second case in itself is kind of neat, but it also opens the door for something. So like, there's some loose ends that still remains on that one. So
it definitely opens a lot of lore, which is very interesting.
It definitely opens a little more than what we had in the first game. Goes like in the first game, it's pretty cut and dry, possibly because they weren't sure there was going to be any sequel anyway. Like, anything was kind of resolved by the end of the fourth case, and then the DLC was just extra, so they had to keep the status quo and stuff. But the second game, they already know, like, they had to go with some, like, they had to keep the door open if they wanted to make another one.
Yeah.
And then third case, we all know how we feel about it. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that one was a weird one. It was just...
I appreciate the trick that happened here, but the whole reasons, the whole context,
it's just kind of weird.
And the whole creepiness of all that, like,
Yeah,
no,
it just,
like,
it definitely leaves a sour note.
There's a lot of things in there that, like, I'm really sure you could have reworked that to have a better taste on it.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, this case is probably the big highlight of this game.
Oh, this one was really good. Yeah, this is a really good story.
That being said, the first game is still better to me for many reasons. Like, first of all, like I said, like, there's one case in there. Like, let's be honest, the Big Top has no bearing to the rest of the game altogether. Like,
yes.
There's like one detail in there that only kind of matters, and that is the fact that Franziska is able to track Gumshoe at any point, and even that they bringing back up in the next case. So that whole case, you can just remove it altogether, and nothing will actually matter for the whole bearing of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
While in the first game, every single case, while the DLC is kind of its own, but like, let's take the OG. All of them had a purpose. The beginning was obviously the tutorial. The second one is just the whole setting of, like, your mentor's dead, but that you have this girl that can channel her. So, like, that is the whole lore building right there. And also you get to meet your rival, the one that's actually the big center of the whole thing. Woo! Third one doesn't have that much, but at the very least, it also makes the show, Hedgeworth is starting to realize that, what he thought might not be how things are still supposed to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can see, like, things are changing.
It's definitely changing,
And then case 4 is not only, like, the big Edgeworth resolution thing, but it's also introduces the big Von Karma thing, which is the big start of the foundation of the second game.
It definitely carries all over very well.
You have, like, the big rival, but then you also have the big bad, because you needed still a big bad.
Yeah.
And so Von Karma was introduced. But then you go on the other side, and I'm sorry to say, but for Justice for All, Franziska's not really doing a good job as far as being the antagonist.
Yeah, it's so hard, but it's like, it's such...
Like, I understand why they were going. They basically tried, we need to bring back Von Karma, but Von Karma is kind of no longer around for obvious reasons. So, hey, let's bring the kid in. The problem is, she has no redeeming factors until, like, the very second half of the case, the last case.
That's where I feel like it's not like that I don't think she's a good character. I just don't feel like they gave her enough time to give her the character and the lore that she needed. She was very one-dimensional. Yeah,
until, like,
and I felt like if they may have probably taken more time with her, she probably could have been a really full, fleshed-out character. And
now, thankfully, she is popular, which means she will get other chances later.
Yeah, so it's just like it's just a shame that they really couldn't do a lot for her in this, which is a little bit disappointing.
Which is as far as this game is limited, like, she was not doing it. Like,
yeah, especially since she's a new character. Like, that's what's a little disappointing. She was doing something
else. She did a lot of whipping, but
yeah,
I'm sorry, like, that was a big downgrade as far as the opposition on the bench here.
Like, you didn't compare it to, like, Pearly. I feel like Pearly was a great addition.
Oh, Pearly is a great addition.
Oh, she's fantastic, and it's crazy, especially when you know the lore and everything. So it sucks, because I feel like where she got a lot more of her story in more and her personalities in, I felt like, Franziska kind of got shoved to the
gift
side.
that keeps on giving as far as pearls go, though. You wouldn't be surprised, like you know, how she turns into Mia. Things might be a little bit more questionable there, but hey, anime. But yeah, no, Pearls is definitely a great addition. Like, love it. Like, and you know, they brought back some characters. They brought back Will. They brought back Lotta.
Yeah, they brought back all the old peeps. So
well,
that
not
wasn't
all
too
of
bad.
them, but like just a couple to say like there's
Yeah.
a tie-in connection here. But yeah, overall, Justice for All is okay. Like, it's
yeah,
not
it's
bad.
not a bad
It's-
game. I just
but
feel like
it
it has a
still
drag.
At the very bottom. It is still at the very bottom of as far as I'm concerned. So we both agree that the first game is better than the second game.
Yeah, definitely.
But now that brings us to the question of
Yep.
the third game,
Ugh.
which is right in front of you, all things
oh,
considered.
it is. Oh,
If you go the
God.
new game and you go 2 times to the right,
Trials and Tribulations. Oh,
Now this game-
dear.
without telling you anything, I feel is going to be a very big different experience for you.
Okay. All right,
when
then.
that's going to happen, I have no idea. But,
All right. And I'm sure people in the comments would probably agree and probably would want me to do Trials and Tribulations, so I'm sure we will in the near future. But for right now, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All is finished. I am happy with this, and we'll see what happens when we will continue. Obviously, we will continue the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney stories. It's just when is really the time. Hopefully, we can figure more things out.
I mean, based on last times, it's when you're going to be editing more episodes.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, you know what? I want to play again. And I was
And
like, okay.
to be honest, I really do kind of want to take a little bit of a break. So I'll maybe do something a little bit on the side first, maybe before going back to this. So hopefully people won't hate me for it. But I do want to continue this. It is going to happen. It's just going to be when. So with that, this was Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All with me, Edo, and Nightshade.
But some luck, they might announce a new game
And
by the
with
time we
that,
start the next one.
that's true. And with that, we are out of here. Bye.
Court is adjourned.